Coffee time. Episode 49. Peace, peace, family. What's going on? Right out there, moving a little slow this morning. Not slow, but cold out there this morning. But we're gonna take a nice little ride together. I probably won't be having much discussion, but I wanted to chop it up this morning. Appreciate everybody for being here. Coffee time, episode 49. It's cold out, so hopefully the family is doing well. Hopefully everybody out there, man, safe, sound, and so forth and so on. But wanted to come here this morning, man, just chop it up and wrap these pardons. We discussed these pardons, and President Biden pardoned his whole family. Most people don't even know his whole family. They just knew Jill and Hunter and the other son that passed. But this guy done pardoned brothers, cousins, and it fits the narrative of what people had always said about him. That his family was a crime syndicate. I don't know if it's true or not, but they said he decided to pardon them basically because out of being scared or whatever, out of being cautious. I don't know, but let's talk about the pardon for Fauci. What's interesting about Fauci's pardon is Fauci's pardon goes all the way back to 2014, and this is dangerous. Hold on one second, family. Hold on one second. One second. Fauci's pardon goes back to autumn 2014. His pardon basically is from 2014 up until now, he cannot be charged with any crimes. And this is dangerous. This is dangerous because, from what we all understand, Anthony Fauci has a lot of questions that he needs to be asked. He can still be held in front of the House Senate committee and be questioned for a lot of his actions. However, this pardon covered him from all crimes. Any crime that he may have done or any crime that he may have committed. So this is uncharted territory that we've come in through in the political realm with preemptive pardons. Usually when it's a pardon for a crime that a person committed, and the federal crime, the president has the authority to pardon them. A lot of people lobby for pardons for people. A lot of politicians, entertainers, they get pardons and so forth, so on. But this preemptive pardons, I'm gonna give you a pardon because I feel retribution from my political opponent. This is precedent. This is something that never usually happens. This is all new stuff where you get pardons for crimes that you've not even been charged with. So this is just something I just thought, going forward, unfortunately they said that the Republicans are pissed that President Biden did this. I find it very interesting. I find it interesting on a lot of different angles of why he did it. I will continue to say that President Biden, whether it's indirectly or directly, I believe President Biden has been really giving the Democratic Party his finger. He's been giving the Republican Party a lot of fuel, a lot of ammunition, a lot of stuff that the Democratic leadership going forward is going to have to answer questions for. We know his legacy. Some people will try to say his legacy is praiseworthy, but other than that, his 40, 50-year legacy has been Crime Bill Joe, Genocide Joe. He has done more to harm the black community specifically than probably any other president. And the reason why I say that is because his name has been on every piece of legislation that has been harmful to the black community, specifically for the last 40 years. That's just a fact. I mean, some people may not want to admit it, but it's just a fact. When it comes to legislation, we're not talking about rhetoric. A lot of times, definitely dealing with President Trump, a person can't help but not to like him because of his rhetoric. But when you talk about substantial legislation that put us in a trick box or put us in a jam, you could literally say Joe Biden. This is why on Sunday he made his business to get to South Carolina to go see Whip Clyburn, because you know why? He owed this presidency to Whip Clyburn. Whip Clyburn served up his people. He served us up to be slaughtered by Joe Biden in the draconian laws that he signed and affected our communities. A lot of people are complicit in what they done. Oh, we didn't know the long-term effect. You knew the long-term effects. You didn't care. You didn't care about the long-term effects. And when you take out the emotion of it all, when you take out all the drama, all the, the hype and all that, like, anybody that voted for this man to become president it's actually crazy. It's actually crazy because you had a history. You had a record of what this man had historically done to the black community. And you still did it. You still did it because you're voting, whether you're voting off of emotion and you're voting for your demise. And I'm not saying that Trump is helping you, but Trump has not signed any legislation, even when he was the president before, that really hurt the black community. Now, some people like to pull the black community with this black and brown coalition. There is no black and brown coalition, because every time it's something specifically for black people always get the shit end of the deal. So we got to stop thinking that this coalition or black Americans getting something or something specifically to help the black community, it's always piled in with another group of people. And this is something that the Democratic Party has done to us, that they got us caught up with identity politics. Identity politics don't serve us no better. I know it sounds crazy and it sounds harsh because of some of the injustices that was specifically done to black people in this country. However, these politicians that have been quote unquote saying they're representing us have literally brought us to the slaughterhouse. Like, come on. Anybody that knows anything about a slaughterhouse, like, some people will tell you that those animals know. They can smell the death. They can sense it. They see their buddies when they going in there not coming out. So they see it. So the fear already be put. And this is what you do when you slaughter. You do it fast and quick because you don't want the adrenaline. The adrenaline comes and then it's poison into the blood flow. So I say that to say that we know it's some questions about Anthony Fauci and what happened in that lab going back as early as 2014 with gain of function and so forth and so on, and who he taught and the money. And now we have the former president who decided to pardon him. He pardoned him at 11:37. 11:37. And the change of power was 12 p.m. He pardoned him at 11:37, you guys. We need to really think about that. We need to really, really understand what happened. We all know a bunch of people, unfortunately, who died of COVID, friends, family members. And, some people need to have to answer for it. Anthony Fauci needs to have to answer for it. Right, wrong, or indifferent. he should have had to answer for it. And to just give him a pardon from 2014 till now, that's telling you something. What did he know? Who knew what? Who was complicit? Who had something to do with it? Like, this is dangerous, man. And, after the Chef C, peace, bro. After the broadcast last night, I watched President Trump when he was, if you guys check it out, man, on YouTube, on the Forbes News channel, right? And President Trump was signing them executive orders while he was basically giving a press conference. He did it right in front of the press, man. And this is what the type of transparency that we need from our elected officials, that they do stuff, a lot of stuff like that in the open. So he's sitting there signing, these executive orders, and he's talking to the press on various different issues, Ukraine, immigration, stuff like that, man. And these media types that ask these questions, like, this man ain't got a problem with immigration. He just said immigration needs to be done the right way, and not people coming in the country illegal. What is wrong with this? What could be the problem when you sneak in a country? They don't know who you are. Like, if I come to your house, if I'm just sitting in your backyard or sitting on your porch, you might harm me because you got to protect your family. But if I ring your doorbell, if I knock on your door, if I call you and say I'm coming through, then you may invite me in. It's basic stuff like this, man, that these wicked people have really got us, man, as a black community, like, really justifying their wickedness. They asked him about, he did a provision in reference to the 14th Amendment. And, with the executive order, SCOTUS could shoot it down. But we need to understand now, we know if you're born in American soil, you're American. But you got these people coming over here, literally, that's illegal, having kids. So now it's an anchor baby. This baby, by technical, literal definition of the 14th Amendment, is an American citizen. You think these people don't know that? It need to be certain provisions in place. They asked him about NATO, and I didn't even know this. They asked him about NATO, and basically, we've given $300 billion to Ukraine as a partnership with NATO. And the other countries haven't given more than $100 billion, more than $50 billion. We've given $300 billion to Ukraine as a partnership for NATO, and other countries haven't given no money. He talked about the Panama Canal, how when President Carter gave the Panama Canal back to Panama, and now it's basically owned by China. Like, nah. Strategically, why would we want a superpower to be in charge of a canal that's on this side of the hemisphere? He even mentioned that about Greenland, how Greenland strategically, it's an international security for us to be in Greenland, because Denmark is doing a terrible job. I mean, you don't have to be pro-Trump to see this. That we're vulnerable. Our pants are down. That we look real clownish on the world stage. We look real clownish. We look weak. And this is why, unfortunately, they called our former President Biden the bumbling idiot. Because he would sit there and he'd be saying something, and then he'll go into a whole different 2 or 3 subjects. Because, unfortunately, age caught up to him. He was all over the place. But back to Fauci, man. Our communities, this man, Anthony Fauci, goes back to all the way to, it was a drug in the mid 80s, early 90s, an AZT. AZT was a drug that they treated for people who had HIV/AIDS. Anthony Fauci was behind AZT. And some of the effects, the adverse effects it had on people. Anthony Fauci was behind this. Anthony Fauci has been behind a lot of stuff when it comes to preventive medicine. I don't want to say too much because we know that, you know, these pharmaceutical companies, what they do is they lobby to YouTube, so they don't like to be criticized. But if you just do a quick Google search, it's all there. It's all there. Anthony Fauci has been around. Robert Kennedy has a book. Very good book. Came out about 4 years ago. It's called The Real Anthony Fauci. Robert Kennedy, most people don't know, is an environmental lawyer. And he's been talking about some of these things with jabs and why we take so much jab. He's not anti-jab. Let's get that straight. But most of us, when we were in school, when we were younger, we took 5 at the most. Did you get your booster shot? That used to be the word. Did you get your booster shot? Got to update your booster shot. Now it's in the high 20s in some cases. But anyway, Robert Kennedy and Robert Malone, if you look up Robert Malone, they've been exposing Anthony Fauci to the people. And during that whole pandemic, they ostracized a lot of doctors who disagreed with what they were doing. And even President Trump himself might have been fooled in the beginning with a lot of the information. However, we should be holding these people accountable. So I don't know what's going to happen going forward. Like I said, I just wanted to, that just had caught my ear yesterday, man, and we should be up in arms about this, man, that this man got a retroactive pardon from 2014 till now. Like, that's crazy. But anyway, y'all have a great day, man. Stay warm out here, man. It's cold. If you know somebody, you see somebody that's homeless, if you can, you know, try to get them into a spot that they can get warm, man. Get them a cup of coffee or something, because it's cold out here, man, and we still got a homeless problem that we need to address. You guys take it easy. Have a good day.